Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today, I am here with my friend and colleague, Robin Shimizu. We're here talking about happy, healthy habits. And we are always excited when it's time to talk about these things because they are going to expand our life. So, with that, I'm going to put Robin in the seat of authority because she's going to share some healthy habits with us. I also want to say that stand by because she's got a great guest today who has been so gracious as to, you know, grace us with her presence. So we want you to get your pencils and pens out because you're going to want to take the information for this lady. She has so much to offer. With that, I just introduced the son, present to others watching live and on the replay, Miss Robin Shimizu. Hey, Robin,
Hey, Terry.
how you doing?
Very well, thank you. And did we shout out to Francine already?
No,
Uh,
we didn't.
yeah, I just want to acknowledge that. And you guys had First Mondays also, right? You
First
just had
Monday was this week
Monday.
also, and
Yeah.
I think you're going to hear a little bit about that today.
Oh, okay, good.
Mhm.
Well, today we have a very special guest, Claudia Newman's with us, and I'm going to introduce her properly. But I thought before we do that, I wanted to give you guys from Cleveland Clinic, there
Oh,
are 17 healthy cooking tips because Claudia is a chef and a caterer,
uh-huh.
and she's all into, healthy, healthy catering, basically, healthy foods. And so I thought to support her, we'll just go over this really quickly because they're all very intuitive and you guys have heard it before, but it's good reminders.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is cook at home.
All right.
Now don't go out to restaurants because you're not going to get, the freshness and the care that you would have if you cook your own meals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And it's okay. So I'm going to just go real quickly because there's 17 of them. Cook with basic ingredients. This means starting with whole foods like raw vegetables and fruits and proteins and whole grains, and cook from scratch if you can. Avoid cooking at high temperatures. So if
Oh,
you're going to grill or pan fry meat, try to do it at a lower temperature because the high temperatures create these chemicals that are I don't want to say them because
yeah.
they're
Hard to pronounce.
hard to pronounce. But it comes from cooking meat at too high of a temperature, so that's not good.
Oh, how
Um,
interesting. I
avoid
didn't, I didn't
deep
know that.
frying. We know
Mm-hmm.
that, right? Avoid deep frying. Use low calorie cooking methods like boiling or steaming if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Measure your ingredients accurately. Measure oil and salt, especially. Um, Avoid cooking meat or fish until well done or brown. So again, they're going about that high temperatures. So only cook your meat until they're do avoid cooking it too well done or browned. Overcooking
Mm-hmm.
and browning meat creates the same chemicals that you use at high temperatures, and it's linked to cancer.
Oh.
Uh, Minimize animal fats. Minimize processed foods. Add fruits and vegetables wherever you can. Use olive oil or canola oil. Now, I have to say something about canola oil. They actually say that olive oil or avocado oil are the two, or grapeseed oils are good oils to use. And even canola oil is a seed oil and it's not as good for you as olive oil would be.
Okay.
Um, Replacing refined grains and whole grains. So trying to eat whole grains, so brown rice instead of, processed rice, that kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
to avoid colorectal cancers.
Mm.
Um, Flavoring your with herbs, spices, onions, garlic, and citrus. Reduce your salt wherever you can. Avoid processed meats for flavoring. So that would be like salami, bologna, those kinds of processed meats are not
Mm.
are not good for us either because they have all kinds of preservatives in them.
Uh-huh.
And then the last one is avoid margarine or cream-based sauces on vegetables. So fat and cream-based sauces will ramp up the calorie count on your foods and likely cause you to gain weight,
Wow.
including dressing. So those are 17 tips for us to think about, in the new year. 17 reminders. And I want to introduce Claudia by reading her introduction bio to
Okay.
do her justice. Okay, so it's going to take another minute or two. Claudia
Okay.
Newman. Claudia's journey in the culinary world began as a talented caterer, where she honed her skills in crafting exquisite dishes and creating memorable dining experiences. However, Claudia's passion for food extends beyond mere culinary artistry. She has transitioned her focus to event planning while still maintaining her commitment to promoting food health and wellness. In
Mhm.
addition to her event planning endeavors, Claudia is deeply invested in educating and empowering individuals to making healthier lifestyle choices. Through her ongoing work, she continues to train and advocate for food health, helping people transition to a more nourishing and sustainable way of living. Claudia's unique blend of expertise in event planning and food health makes her an asset to our community. She intends to offer valuable perspectives from her insights and experiences that will enrich our conversation and inspire new ideas and healthy food options. With that, let's bring on Claudia. So excited to see her.
Oh my goodness. Claudia. I'm just
Hi,
gonna put you
everybody.
in good morning.
Oh my
Good
gosh,
morning.
that kills me and transcends me all the time because in life as a human, being human, you're like you don't really realize what you
Mhm,
do, you just do it.
mhm.
So, thank
Exactly.
you for having me here today. And hi everybody, I'm Claudia Newman, the real live and personal. Um, my company is Saventi. We specialize in creating unforgettable events that are lit by passion and ignited by vision. From
Mhm.
concept to execution, we handle every detail so our clients can simply show up and enjoy their special moments. I You talked about Terralina. I did give a presentation on Monday for our first of the year, and
Yes.
I felt so privileged and everything and
Oh,
honored to be the first of the year for this year, 2025. And we didn't think we were going to make it past 1999, did we?
no, how about that?
And I really spoke to the audience because it is BizChicks about planning events for their businesses. But
Hmm.
what I will focus on today is I want to identify that with planning events in general, what we focus on is the holistic journey no matter what. No matter
Okay.
what's going on, we're always focused on the holistic journey. Beyond fitness and nutrition, the other things that are important when it comes to holism is relationships with others, self-awareness, self-care, financial literacy, which sometimes we forget. You cannot be in a world of wholeness and wellness if you're stressed out about your bills or you're stressed out about the money that you're not going to be receiving. If you don't have financial literacy, that can itself be an issue. And this talking about just coming off of a major holiday where people do what? Spend tons of
They
money.
overspend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on mental health and education, personal growth and development. Um, but with all those ideas that we have, even in planning events, we want to have people understand that wellness isn't perfect. Um,
Okay.
you can be messy as long as you're honest and real. Skipping workouts and indulging occasionally, that's okay. Trying and failing and trying again, that's what's good.
Mhm.
The key message that we try to incorporate with the events that we put out is not to be perfect, but just always be doing your best. You want
I
to
like that.
parts of yourself that you don't want to see. So I don't know. I think all of us look in the mirror sometimes and we're like, oh, that little hunk of fat, or oh, that little double chin that we see, or in within hormonal changes that happen within women, the little hairs that grow on our chins. These things we don't really like, but we have to learn to endure them and perfect that. You
Ah,
know, I don't know, dye those little hairs pink. I don't care.
that's interesting.
But it's going to happen. It's going to be there. We all have to go through the process.
Hmm.
But within that growth period, within that aging period, then that change of hormonal imbalances within ourselves, what's the biggest thing that I always recognize when I think I'm going to start complaining about those things in aging? Um, I'm like, but I'm alive and I'm breathing and I'm healthy.
Healthy, yes. Hmm.
So, I mean, that's what's good. And that's why, again, when we talk about events, we always want to focus on the health journey within events, because within events, what we really want to set forward is that events still need to be mindful. We still need to be mindful when we create events. We create personalized touches for events, but when we design grazing boards and design when we design an event through decor, we always want to use sustainable products. So there's a lot of times when people I'll be like, oh, you have some really nice flowers. Sometimes I get those flowers by knocking on doors and saying, or flowers or whatever the decor is, and knocking on doors and saying, can I clip to trim some of your product, whether it be a tree, a branch, or whatever, to use with an event that I'm doing? That's so much more sustainable than using artificial product.
Hmm.
Um, we talk about setting up grazing, catering. One thing we don't do, you did talk about using processed meats, and we do use some processed meats sometimes with grazing, but we do try to use those ones that are not harvested with a lot of chemicals.
Hmm.
And then we don't use pork products in anything that we do or contribute to our grazing tables or boards. I do agree with you as far as the oils. Canola oil, we never use. We do stick to avocado oil and olive oil. We use olive oil a lot,
Hmm.
but we do try to stick to those measures. And when we think about a grazing tray or a grazing platter, those items are going to be the nourishing versions of what you might see. We don't want to put anything on a platter that's overly processed. And of course, as you know, and as I always say, any sauces or oils or salad dressings we create in house. We
Yeah.
don't pull them off the shelf because we just don't do that. Why do that? It's processed.
Mm-hmm.
We want 5 ingredients or less, and 5 ingredients that you can actually pronounce.
I like that.
Nice.
That makes a difference, being able to pronounce it. Now, this olive oil, I know all olive oils are not created equally, Claudia. So, can you talk just real quick about the best way to find a good olive oil?
Well, when we talk about olive oil, it is it's a really hard subject. Um,
Hmm.
I would encourage people, just like I did, to look up maybe some trainings. You can do some olive oil trainings sometime. Like me and my husband went to an olive oil training at a local library. It was a free class. We went and we learned things. I mean, I'm a cook, and she was teaching me things that I didn't know. For instance, one of those items was that back in the day, olive oil was just as curious as prohibition with when it came to alcohol.
Wow.
Um, yeah, the Italians were using that as a means to kind of infiltrate systems. And I'm like, gosh, olive oil was that serious? And she said, yeah, it was. It was very serious because what was happening was they were incorporating different oils into the olive oil to be able to sell it a certain way. And that's of course not okay. So
Yeah.
the first thing, if you're not going to go into the trainings, that I will say is make sure that it's 100% olive oil. You'll want to know that it says olive oil. Perhaps let's take it a step further. Make sure it's extra virgin olive oil. You want it to be extra virgin all the
Okay.
time. You want it to be a good olive oil. If you have to spend a little bit more money for olive oil, trust me, it's worth it. You don't want to maybe pick and choose an olive oil that's from different regions. That's usually a dead giveaway. So olive oil from the Turkish community, from the Italian community, pick those. But if you have an olive oil that's from the middle of Asia, and then it's combined with an olive oil that says is also from the region of Spain, those two collaborative countries, it's not going to be a straight olive oil. You don't even know if that's a firm olive oil. So you want to check for that as well. The other thing is where the olive oil is contained. It's always best for an olive oil to be contained in a dark container as opposed to glass, because olive oil, just like nuts, can get rancid. And we at that event, we did taste rancid olive oil, and there is definitely a difference. I know every year when we have the state fair, we're so lucky to have the state fair within Sacramento. They do have a training there, so go to that. I mean, anytime that you have an option to look at an event where they're talking specifically about holistic foods, foods that are just usually one ingredient, go to those events. You're going to want to get that knowledge because they are very knowledgeable and they're open to talk about it and answer any questions that people have. And the other thing, especially with when it comes to the fair, a lot of those people are farmers, so they absolutely know what they're farming. So that's always good. But yeah, it's a tricky subject. You can always, you have my phone number. You can always call me to talk more in detail. And I always do trainings as well myself on different food aspects.
Love it. Thank you.
Let's see, what else did I want to talk about today? So getting back to the idea of planning events, one thing that happens in events, which is one reason why we don't, as an event planning company, we don't plan weddings. Weddings are just innately stressful for no reason. When it comes to smaller events, we want to make sure those events are not stressful. Why? Because when we're talking about wholeness and we're talking about wellness, stress is one of those measures that it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. That's why we gather our brain to say, when we plan events, we want it to be an event that people just show up and have a happy time, and then they can go home and go rest. That's why when we talk to guests and we talk to potential clients, the first thing that we try to assimilate is, are you one of those people that are stressful? And we've been known to even send people to therapy from local people that we know to go to these therapies prior to their event so that they can calm down. It sounds very strange, but that's just how strong we are when it comes to planning events. We want to make sure that it's an unhinged type of thing. We don't want it to be an eventful situation. No pun intended.
Right.
We want it to be something that is calm and freeing. And we talk about the different events that we put on. We do a lot of wellness events. We pride ourselves in that, but we do also do birthday parties. We also do memorial services. During birthday parties, it's an exciting thing. I mean, who wouldn't want to say, I lived another year, to be able to celebrate another year? That should be something that is amazing. When it comes to memorial events, that can be a very sad event, but in all actuality, I kind of have a different perspective about it. A lot of the memorial events that we do in relation to somebody has lived an awesome long life. And why did they live a long life? More likely because they had wholeness and wellness within their spirit. So I always try to identify within those memorial events that it's a good thing, because now you're the legacy for that person, because that person is now watching over you and watching over you very carefully. So make sure that you're the next legacy to be into and be comforted with wellness.
I love it. You know, that is a gift that we give to our families and our friends, because if we're not healthy, then they have to take time out of their life to help us. And so I say that to my children all the time. I gave you the gift of I am healthy. Okay. So you don't have to stop what you're doing and come take care of mom. Yeah, I think it's a really valuable gift.
And that's a unique niche that you have, Claudia, because most caterers don't start out with wellness as the goal for the event. So that's very interesting and very needed out there.
I
That's
agree.
great.
I
I
agree.
love the idea of having a stress-free event.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when we are planning events, we have so many things to think about. Is someone going to be allergic to something? Is someone going to not be happy because they didn't have enough sugar or whatever it is that we're serving? This way, it takes the guesswork out of things.
So your company takes care of everything from soup to nuts, like
Absolutely.
the
Decor.
yeah,
We take care of
everything.
everything. Now we do use local vendors when it comes to that. But the issue with that is that you don't have to make the phone calls to see who's available. You don't have to check on the pricing. And a lot of times, because of the fact that I have a connection with these vendors, you're going to get my pricing. That's just being on a part of like the most exclusive uh, uh, list that you can be like, kind of like they have for American Express. You're an American Express card holder, you get tons and tons of perks. If you know me and you use me as your event planner, guess what? You're going to get those perks.
So it's like having concierge service.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Now I know you said you didn't do weddings. Do you do bachelorette parties?
We do. We do.
Okay, because
Absolutely.
that's a smaller group.
For we'll do them for however many group, but even within the bachelorette parties, again, it can be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But we just try to dial down the stress. I mean, so how you mentioned niche, and how we are incredible is that we do meet with the party before the bachelorette party even gets unveiled. Like, what we want to know, what their experience is, what they expect their experience to be. But on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, we kind of impart, okay, we want to do kind of these kind of things because we want it to be a completely positive experience. Nobody wants to go into a wedding thinking, oh my God, what in the world did I do on my bachelorette party that could probably compromise me for my impending wedding?
Yes.
We don't want any of those issues. So for instance, I'll give you an example. We had a client once where the groom showed up
Oh, at the bachelorette party?
at the bachelorette party.
Really?
So, well, Claudia, being from the East Coast, well, she has goons. And those specific goons, I call them goons, but they're really my security. Well, the security stopped him at the door and would
Okay.
not allow him in. Why? Because can you imagine how that would have been? I don't know why he was there. I don't know why he showed up. I don't even know what he was wanting.
Hmm.
But
And to see the bride the night before the wedding?
yeah.
Hmm. There are
Well,
certain
a
traditions
lot of times
sometimes.
bachelorette parties are held way before
Hmm.
the actual
Oh,
wedding.
true. Uh-huh.
So I mean, all of that is okay, if that's what they want to do. I mean, we've also had collaborative um, bachelorette parties for both people.
Okay.
Um, but
Bachelor and bachelorette. Hmm.
yeah, we had those, and they actually worked just fine as well. But this was one, like I said, we talked to the bachelorette first, and we asked what she wanted to do, and she says, I just wanted kind of a night of freedom
Mhm.
and before my impending marriage. Not to say that marriage isn't, it cannot be free, but
I
she just wanted to be able to let her hair down.
understand.
And so with the groom showing up, that was not a way that she was going to be able to let her hair down.
Uh-huh.
So in all actuality, she did not know that the groom even showed up until
Good.
after they were married, and we had a conversation about it. And she was like, "You did what?" And then she also asked, she's like, "How did you stop them?" And I'm like, "Those guys are pretty big. They can't. They're like brick walls. You can't get past them."
Mm-hmm.
Plus, even within that, the people that we hire for different things, they understand Saventi as a brand, and they also understand the kindness in which is in order. And what they did is, instead of just be the big goons that just kind of stop him in his tracks, they had a conversation with him. Obviously, he had something on his mind, and so they were able to talk to them. These two big goons were also a pastor and deacon, so they were really able to just get to the bottom of it. And all it really was is like, sometimes in events like this, people have cold feet, and that's what it was. He had cold feet, and he was very nervous, and all it was that he was really upset and curious and frustrated and all these emotions about whether or not he was going to be a good husband. Believe that.
How strange.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you know, I want to share some of the ways that people can get in touch with you, Claudia. So we're going to come back on the scene. And is it okay if I share your website with people?
absolutely.
Okay, so let me share my screen and then you can tell us a little bit about your website. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so now we on the home page now?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to press the section about your services. Did the page change?
Yes.
Wow.
Look at, isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful.
You did this. Look at this table setting.
Wow.
Lovely. I love this.
What a beautiful website, Claudia.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And what
nice.
lovely examples of your work. I
Yeah.
was just stunned by, the way you created an atmosphere. It just, and it's you, each one was unique. I'd never seen anything like this. So I wanted to share that. Now it says here portfolio. I haven't been to the website, so spare me if I do something wrong. Guide me.
No, it's fine. So this is actually, so this is like one of the very few times that we've done it. So this client had been a client for me for a long time, and it was a wedding, but we
Mhm,
knew that it was going to be not one of those stressful weddings. But
mhm.
this is actually my backyard. She wanted to have the wedding in my yard, and
Uh-huh.
this is on the left side is kind of the table setting that went into that yard. So
Okay.
if you slide it over, you can kind of open it up a little bit.
Let's see if I can get it to move. Does that take us back? Nope. Let's see.
Yeah, the little pink arrow. Oh, it won't move.
It won't move.
Okay. So yeah, when you're on the website, you actually can move it to and fro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Wow.
then the one under that one was also, it was a private event.
Let me go back to the portfolio and see if I can scroll down. Oh, it scrolls down.
That's kind of
Okay.
how it started. And then on the left side is how it turned out.
Yeah, I remember this event. It was
Yeah, you
gorgeous.
were there.
It was absolutely gorgeous. I was just stunned by the presentation. Guys, I'm telling you, you will be so happy with the outcomes. These are some of the things that you've done, Claudia, that you have
Yeah.
planned. Beauty and empowerment.
So
Mhm.
we have beauty and empowerment every what was the second
What?
Thursday? every second Thursday.
Uh-huh.
And then we have the summer camp that I'm actually helping to plan, which is open to anybody to come and join. It's for kids of all ages, but we're helping plan it, so that's why we're on this particular one. And
Okay.
then also Lakeisha, who also does BizChicks for you,
Yes.
we have an event. It's not on here, but we have an event the last Sunday of every month,
Mm-hmm.
which incorporates her expertise in skincare.
Yes, I'm familiar with that. And we like to keep our audience aware of that because you guys do a great job with that. And I know that you also cater that event. Dr. Tachi, we just want to say, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And Dr. Tachi said it is gorgeous. It is. It is
Thank
really
you, Dr. Tachi.
stunning, the things that she does with decor. And most of us don't even think about decor. We just know we need it. We don't know what to do about it. We don't know how to make it unique. And so my hat goes off to you, Claudia, with everything that you do. And I want to encourage everybody to contact Claudia. I'm going to put her information up here. Here is her phone number, and you can contact her at Claudia J. Newman at Savente Events. And I'll also put this in the chat for those of you who are looking to contact her. But I want you to know that you will be seeing her in the future at BizChicks events. So stay tuned for more from Savente. Thank you so much, Claudia, for all that you do. We just want to just give you your accolades because you really are super, super talented. And we don't want people to just think, oh, this is just another, catering service. No, this is an outstanding opportunity to make your event stand out.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, you both. I appreciate you so much.
We just really want to thank you. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows how to get in touch with you and what it is you do and how you do it because you are unique, incorporating mindfulness and incorporating health. Thank you again, Claudia. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Claudia. Thank you. We'll have Claudia back in March.
Oh, wow. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. She is just so outstanding. You have to give it to her. And let me get this off of here because she's no longer speaking. But and also you can book Claudia to come speak at your events. So, don't put that number aside just because you don't have an event coming up right now. You may want her to come speak to your book club or to your, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
To your small group. She does that kind of
Because she brings the holistic journey to your event, which sets it on its own course.
exactly.
You don't think that way usually when you're putting on an event. So that's
Mhm.
really awesome. And
Okay.
the self-awareness and the self-care and all of that is all part of the
It
package.
makes her unique. So,
Mhm.
so who do we have coming up? We
Next
know
week
she's
we
coming
have
back in March.
next week we have Linus Woods Mullins with us.
Great.
And I'm sure we'll hear more about her membership and her program that, her challenge that we just did this week with
Yes.
Linus. Yeah, so it'd be good to get Linus back with us. And then after that, we have Lakeisha with us. So there's 5 weeks in January.
Oh, okay.
So we
All
have
right.
Linus, Lakeisha, and then Linus again.
Wow. I am so excited to have these talented women be a
Yes.
part of the BizChicks program. And we want to encourage you to contact them to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. With that, we want to remind you that BizChicks would love for you to be a part of our community. You can join BizChicks by texting Biz to 33777, or you can simply go to bizchicks.net. And also in those venues, you can list the different things that you, activities that you have coming up. You can share it with our community. We'd love to share what it is you do and how you serve. With that, we want to remind everybody that it's okay to make money in your business. BizChicks is here to help you with your technology, to help you with presentations. We can also stream for you. Just give us a call. We'd like to help you take that, handle that hassle, and take the hassle out of your hustle. We'll see you soon. And tomorrow we'll be talking tech and easy to understand ways, Robin. So everybody stay tuned.
That's what I need.
We'll be here with the BizChicks. So have a great day. And we want to say bye and we'll see you soon.